Hola a todos. Hello everybody. Today we're going to do a quick little activity with question words. This was originally a homework assignment in one of my face-to-face Spanish 131 classes. So we'll get our instrucciones, circle the correct question word underlined. Your options are que, quién, quiénes, cuál, cuáles, cuándo, cuántos, cuántas, cómo, dónde. Each will be used only once. Then you answer the question in a complete sentence. Okay, so número uno. We have cuándo or cuántos estudiantes hay en la clase de español. Okay, so for this we need to remember what is the meaning of the word cuándo, what is the meaning of the word cuánto. If you can associate the word cuánto with quantity, hopefully you will remember that it means how much or how many. So the question is, how many students are there in the Spanish class? That would make sense. So your question word is cuántos. Cuándo, meaning when, so obviously that would not be your option for this one. We'll go ahead and answer this. Okay, so let's estimate. My classes tend to cap off at 25, so let's say we have 25 students. So how will we start off our answer? Okay, look for your verb. What is the verb in this question? Our subject is estudiantes. Our verb is actually I, and this is an interesting verb because it never changes for plural. So your answer is going to begin with I, and then we just start answering. So we're asking cuántos, so we want the number 25, which is 25 estudiantes, and that's actually a perfect answer by itself. If we want to, we can go ahead and add en la clase de español. Hay 25 estudiantes en la clase de español. Número 2. ¿Cómo or qué te llamas? Alright, well we know that the question we're going for is what is your name? But if you remember, the verb llamas, or the verb llamar, does not literally mean name. What it literally means is how do you call yourself? The question word that we need is ¿cómo? Okay, ¿cómo te llamas? And hopefully this is so automatic from using it over and over again that you know how to answer it without thinking. So ¿cómo te llamas? We want to put it in yo form because I'm asking you what's your name. So we will say me llamo. Alright, and then just put your name. Okay? So let's say me llamo Roberto. Alright, número 3. ¿Dónde or de dónde eres? Okay. Now we know that we use the verb eres, a form of ser, to talk about where we're from. Okay? If we wanted to talk about where we are located, we would use the verb estás. So that means that what we're asking here is where are you from, which is an expression you should easily recognize from chapter 1. ¿De dónde? ¿De dónde eres? And our answer for this will always be our verb in the yo form, soy, de, and then whatever city you happen to be from. So, in my case, soy de Nacogdoches. Okay, número 4. ¿Cuántas or quién es la profesora de español? So, here a translation can help us a little bit. We think blank is the Spanish instructor. How many or who? Obviously it would be who, so ¿quién es la profesora de español? Okay, so what we could do here is we could put an explicit subject, which would be la profesora de español es. Okay, but since we already have la profesora de español in our original question, we can actually make this a lot shorter by leaving la profesora out and just implying it in our answer. So we could really just start our answer with es la profesora. Hello. ¿Sí? Número 5. ¿Cuál or cómo es más grande? ¿Nacogdoches o Nueva York? Okay, here we see this little word o, which we might not have encountered yet. O means or, so we have here an either or question. If we have an either or, what would make more sense? Which or how. Here we have a comparison. Okay, Nacogdoches versus Nueva York. Which one is más grande? Which one is bigger? Our question word is ¿cuál? Okay, and our sentence structure here is actually going to be really, really simple. Okay, because we just pick whichever one is obviously bigger. So Nueva York. And then we already have our phrase in the question. Es más grande. This means is bigger. And we don't have to change it in any sort of way. It's already in the form that we need it in. Número 6. ¿Quién or quiénes son los gemelos en la clase? Now, gemelos is not a vocabulary word. Gemelos, you could look it up. It actually means twins. Okay? So, ¿quién or quiénes son los gemelos en la clase? Our key here, well, actually we have several keys. We have the word son, which we know is a plural form of the verb ser. We have los, which we know is a plural definite article, and we have gemelos, which we can tell is a plural noun. So even if you didn't know what the word gemelos meant, you can see that it's going to be a plural. So, ¿quiénes son los gemelos en la clase? And so let's just make up an answer. Let's say that Tim and Brian are the twins. So we could say Tim y Brian son los gemelos en la clase. Alright. Número 7. ¿Cuántas versus cuánto? ¿Cuántas or cuánto chicas hay en la clase? Okay, meaning-wise, we know that both of those have something to do with quantity. So our key here is to look at the word chicas, which means girls. So, ¿cuántas chicas or cuánto chicas? Hopefully, as you practice Spanish more and more, you'll start to recognize that if your verb or your word ends with an AS, your modifier, which in this case is our question word, is also going to end in an AS. So, ¿cuántas chicas hay en la clase? Here we'll just make up a number. So let's say there are 12 girls in the class. So once again, we start with our verb, which is hay. Hay 12 chicas en la clase. Número 8. ¿Cuándo versus cuándo? In other words, ¿qué días de la semana es la clase de español? Okay, so if we remember how much versus when. ¿Cuándo es la clase de español? And let's say, well, this is an online class, but my face-to-face classes are usually Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So we would say, la clase de español es lunes, miércoles, y viernes. If we wanted to say that Spanish class was every day, I'll give you a new expression for that. We would say la clase de español es todos los días. Literally all the days. Número 9. ¿Dónde versus de dónde está el piano de la escuela? Okay. Our key here is the verb está. Our other key is the meaning. If you think about it logically, which one would make more sense? So remember, when we use de donde, this is when we're asking about someone's origin. So if I were asking where the piano came from, okay, then I would use de donde. But we see here está, which is our verb that we use when we're talking about location. So the thing that would make more sense would be to say, where is the piano? Okay? And in order to answer, we just start off with our noun, or our subject, which is el piano. But wait a minute, we can actually make it easier. We can just leave it implied and start with our verb. And just say está. Now we have to say where it is. So you can make up something here. Where could we say the piano is located? I'll say it's in the room. Está en el salón. Alright, and our last one. ¿Cuándo versus qué clase tienes a las 8 de la mañana? Okay, so this is where you have to be careful in reading all of the words and not just zeroing in on one phrase. So if we see las 8 de la mañana, you're thinking, oh, that's time, cuando? But wait, I'm asking about clase. So when class do you have at 8 in the morning, or what class do you have at 8 in the morning? Now it becomes obvious that it needs to be ¿qué? ¿Qué clase tienes a las 8 de la mañana? Now, our verb tienes is a new verb. We'll see it really soon. It actually officially comes up in chapter 3. This is the verb to have. So what class do you have? Our yo form is tengo. Right? So don't worry about that for the moment. Why tengo? We just know that it's the yo form of tienes. And let's say you have English. So we could say tengo la clase de inglés a las 8 de la mañana. Alright, and you're done. So that is just a simple demonstration of how we can use question words to form questions and how we answer those questions.